What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ross back at again with another video. So we're gonna check out 10 moments that even made die-hard WWE wrestling fans change the channel. You know what? I think we're living through that right now. This video was filmed a month ago, apparently, on the WrestleMania channel. I think we're dealing with that right now, man. I think people are changing the channel, and this time it's not even a storyline or anything like related to a storyline. I think this is just real life. As soon as people heard Vince was back and saw that Monday Night Raw, people start changing the channel, and they may not come back. So it's very interesting that we're checking this video out. The timing is impeccable, man. I know a lot of y'all are changing the channel when it comes to Monday Night Raw now that Vince is pretty much back in control, creative control. So we're going to check out some of these moments. Most of these moments, probably all these moments, were greenlit by Vince. So this should be a good one. Appreciate all the love and support. Let's do this thing.
Now, not every WWE moment can light the world on fire.
Of course.
Throughout the history of WWE, numerous moments have led to a max exodus of WWE fans and has ultimately led to them changing the channel.
That
From
right there.
disastrous pushes to insulting segments, some moments in WWE will live in infamy and were well known for all the wrong reasons. Join us now as we look at 10 moments that made WWE fans change the channel. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, WrestleMania Shorts. Number 10, Bobby Lashley's sisters.
Oh,
When Bobby
man.
Lashley returned to WWE in
I remember that.
2018, he was
Oh,
failing to
my
connect with the crowd.
God.
Most of the blame fell on WWE, who placed Lashley in awkward and cringe-worthy storylines, most notably one with Sami Zayn. During Lashley's feud with Zayn, he would take part in a segment known as Lashley's Sisters, which would see Zayn bring 3 men out to the ring posing as Lashley's sisters. The 3 individuals would share a story relating to how awful Lashley was as their brother, but these promos fell completely flat. Fans instantly turned on the segment. Lashley would even perform a run-in before he was comically attacked by the fake sisters. Lashley inevitably overpowered the sisters and stood tall to close out one of the worst received segments of the PG era. Number 9, Baron Corbin is the chosen one. And Baron Corbin's main roster...
It's crazy. Baron Corbin's had a lot of gimmicks that just in segments, and that just even now it's just no one cares.
Has been met with mixed reviews. Corbin has been pushed heavily since his call-up in 2016, but some of the feuds and matches he's been involved in have certainly been labelled as channel changers.
Facts.
In 2019, Corbin received his biggest push yet. He was chosen by Vince McMahon to be the one to retire legendary wrestler Kurt Angle. When Angle announced that his final match would be against Corbin in a segment of Raw, fans were bewildered, as they instantly thought that this must be a fake-out and Angle would be wrestling someone more suitable, more like John Cena.
Yeah.
But sadly, Corbin vs. Angle was indeed WWE's plan, and the match would go as planned at WrestleMania 35. It received incredibly negative reviews, and since the match took place, there have been campaigns for Angle to have one final match in WWE against a more appropriate opponent.
Like Gable. That would be awesome. I don't know why Baron Corbin of all people. I was like, what the? Why not John Cena? That would have been great. Oh my, jeez.
Number 8, Roman Reigns gets covered in dog food.
Oh,
Speaking
who
of
remembers
Baron
this?
Corbin, he was involved in, without question, the worst rivalry of 2019.
Yes.
Corbin's rivalry with Roman Reigns was endless, and the two had no chemistry whatsoever. The feud appealed to one man and one man only.
And it's crazy that Baron Corbin was the last person to pin Roman Reigns.
Vince McMahon. Lazily produced comedy implemented into the feud, and this unfortunately involved segments involving dog food. On the December 6, 2019 edition of SmackDown, Reigns would be cuffed to the ring post by Corbin and Dolph Ziggler, and then Corbin and Ziggler would proceed to pour dog food all over the face of the SmackDown brand. This segment was horrendous, and the backlash to this segment on social media was very severe.
Cringe.
Fans assumed that due to the negative backlash, the dog food segments would stop, but just a few weeks later, another one would air. This time it was Corbin who would be covered in dog food, but this was equally bad, and it was clear that the feud needed to end with immediate effect. Number 7, Lana gets intimate with Bobby Lashley.
I remember this, unfortunately.
Between Rusev and Bobby Lashley sounds great. However, when WWE decided to reveal that Lashley had been sleeping with Lana in 2019, nobody could have ever predicted how the storyline would play out. It transpired that Lana had an affair due to Rusev being a controlling sex addict. What followed was a seemingly endless storyline which came at the expense of Rusev, who was never able to exact revenge on Lana and Lashley. They devoted a ton of TV time to this story, but all it did was receive criticism and lead to fans questioning what the point of this whole storyline was.
Facts.
The storyline went off the rails completely when, during Lana and Lashley's wedding, Liv Morgan interrupted and declared her love for Lana. This plot twist went nowhere and it was quickly abandoned. According to Rusev, the feud was supposed to come to a close at WrestleMania, with Rusev and Lashley having a main event match, but based on the reception of the storyline, there was no way that this was going to happen. Number 6, the Demon goes corporate.
It just no.
A WWE Hall of Famer Kane has been involved in some downright awful storylines throughout his career.
Facts.
In 2013, they did the unthinkable with Kane, as they turned him into an authority figure as he would become the director of operations for the authority. Kane would be just a regular guy, and his prior demonic traits were abandoned in favor of a corporate verbiage. To say that WWE fans hated this character would be an understatement, as it was truly awful to watch. Kane would begin to wrestle in suit pants, and on occasion would even wear slacks. This heavily influenced Kane's in-ring work, as he was restricted in the ring due to his attire. This was definitely a low point in Kane's career, and he was such a major part of WWE programming at this time that whenever the corporate Kane character appeared on screen, fans would either heavily criticize Kane's work or they would simply change the channel. Number 5, Charlotte Flair dethrones Asuka.
Oh my god, this was so fucking stupid. To this day, that was one of the dumbest decisions WWE has ever done, especially when it came to Asuka, bro.
As WWE were approaching WrestleMania 35, they decided to have Asuka drop her SmackDown Women's title to Charlotte Flair on SmackDown. This decision received extensive criticism, as Asuka was rumored to be facing Sonya Deville at WrestleMania, but WWE were insisting on having Flair walk into WrestleMania as Women's Champion. The planned main event for that year's Mania was to see Ronda Rousey take on Flair as well as Becky Lynch, and the match went from being for the Raw Women's title to a winner-takes-all matchup.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, I wasn't even thinking about the other one. I was thinking about when Asuka had that amazing win streak and faced Charlotte Flair, I believe, at WrestleMania, and lost. So there's multiple times that Asuka failed to either retain or whatnot, or, to even get the championship from Charlotte. It's just, yeah. But this was stupid too. I wasn't a big fan of this. I was like, bro, what the? Come on, man.
This was a massive disservice to Asuka, and fans quite rightly weren't amused. Number 4, Cain Velasquez becomes #1 contender.
This was bad
the
too.
The WWE run of Cain Velasquez was an absolute disaster, and it came at the expense of one of the most popular stars of the modern era in Kofi Kingston. On the 20th anniversary of the SmackDown special on Fox, Kingston would be squashed by Brock Lesnar, ending his WWE title reign in the process. This booking decision baffled fans, and it was a lackluster end to a championship reign that fans had waited years for. Then WWE massively misjudged the appeal of Velasquez in the company. Kingston was then pushed down the card, and Velasquez was somehow now the #1 contender for the WWE title. He and Lesnar would collide at the Crown Jewel event in a match that lasted only 1 minute. This would be his only match in WWE outside of a house show matchup, rendering the Velasquez experiment a complete waste of time.
So he did all that for a 1 minute match. Kofi got squashed because of that. All right, yep.
Number 3, WWE turns into the Shane McMahon show.
Ooh.
In late 2018, WWE decided to feature Shane McMahon once again in a substantial role. At the Crown Jewel event, McMahon would win the WWE World Cup tournament. Now, bear in mind that McMahon wasn't even considered an active wrestler. This was a controversial decision from WWE. The tournament featured greats such as Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy, so fans were confused as to why McMahon would be chosen as the victor of the tournament. In the months that followed, the strong presentation of McMahon would continue as he would join forces with The Miz, and the duo would even win the SmackDown Tag Team titles. McMahon would then embark on a heel turn, and whilst the moment itself was memorable, what followed was a villainous McMahon dominating TV time. McMahon would be booked in multiple segments of show, and he would defeat The Miz in 2 consecutive pay-per-view matches. McMahon would then enter into a feud with Roman Reigns and would even defeat Reigns on pay-per-view in one of the biggest upsets in WWE history. WWE were presenting McMahon as if he was the biggest star on the entire show, and it was leading to fans saying goodbye to the product as they had no interest in seeing McMahon be the focal point of the company.
That's why it was a cool spot when they powerbombed Shane McMahon onto like some equipment in the back. Y'all know the clip when he just made that horrible noise. That, oh man, if you haven't seen Kevin Owens powerbombing Shane McMahon onto some equipment in the back, go watch it. Anytime you think of this run of Shane McMahon, just watch that part. Oh, chef's kiss, it was great.
To Dean Ambrose heel turn. The October 22nd, 2018 edition of Raw was an emotional one, as Roman Reigns announced the return of his leukemia and subsequently relinquished the Universal title. On that same edition of Raw, Dean Ambrose would shockingly turn on his partner Seth Rollins. Fans questioned why WWE would book a heel turn to take place on the same episode of Raw where Reigns made his announcement, and many believed it to be in poor taste. Ambrose's heel run that followed received constant backlash, as it was poorly executed and fans just didn't want to boo the former WWE champion. Ambrose would be the moral compass of WWE, but this unusual character shift did little to change the fan base's stance on Ambrose as a heel. He was also set to leave the company within a few months, which led to fans as well as Ambrose himself believing that WWE were destroying his credibility before he departed from WWE. And number one.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't have a problem with him turning heel. It was such a shocking moment. I did not have a problem with it. I was okay with it. It shocked everybody, for sure. It's just how they went about it.
Jinder Mahal shocks the world. Jinder Mahal stunned the wrestling world at the Backlash pay-per-view in 2017.
Never
as he
forget.
would defeat Randy Orton to become the WWE champion. WWE had plans to expand in India, and Mahal as WWE champion was going to help WWE achieve their goals. The problem was that Mahal was a jobber, and now fans were supposed to take him seriously as a viable champion. The Mahal experiment backfired, and seeing Mahal defeat the likes of Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura made fans search for the remote. Mahal's in-ring work simply wasn't at the level fans wanted. There was simply no interest from fans to see Mahal as WWE champion. This unfortunately included fans in India, as the Indian market failed to dramatically increase, making the Mahal experiment a colossal failure in every aspect.
Facts.
Well, there you have it, folks.
That was the dark days of SmackDown, bro. I was like, bro, Jinder fucking Mahal is the WWE champion. This is not like a Cinderella story or nothing. It was just, no, it's Jinder fucking Mahal. No. Comment down below. Let me know what are some moments or situations where you just said, you know what? I'm checking out. I'm not watching this no more. This is awful. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I can bet as of recently with the news of Vince McMahon and him really announcing that he's, you know, kind of in charge of creative, you know, I'm pretty sure he's been there for quite some time. He just hadn't really said nothing. And how Monday Night Raw was this past week, I think a lot of you guys definitely are gonna put him in there and changing your channel, man. So, but I appreciate all love and support. Road to 150K, and I'm still your undisputed YouTube wrestling champ of the world. Appreciate y'all kicking me. See you on the next one.